Growing your family through adoption can feel daunting when you are researching and finding a bunch of information and you're not really sure where to start or how to sift through the information that you're finding to actually figure out which one is right for your family. So if you're in Nebraska and you are wanting to start the adoption process, stick around because in this video, I'm gonna share with you the process that you need to take to adopt a child. So if you're excited about that, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell button to be notified when a new video is posted every single week. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Bundy. I am an adoption lawyer and I have helped hundreds of families here in Nebraska and all across the United States adopt. And this is the place to be if you want to learn about adoptions and how to go through the process without losing a ton of time, money, or hope in the process. Also, if you are serious about growing your family through adoption and you've been researching and you feel stuck and you're not sure how to move forward, I did record a free adoption training just for you. And in this training, I'll share with you the 3 secrets that you need to know to grow your family through adoption successfully without losing time, money, or hope in the process. Okay, so if that's you and you want to learn how to do this well, go ahead and click the link in the description box below to access the free training. All right, so let's talk about how to adopt a child in Nebraska. The first thing that you need to know is that there are different types of adoption. What I mean by that is that you can adopt a child in different ways. So one of the ways you can adopt a child in Nebraska is through foster care adoption. Another way you can adopt a child in Nebraska is through newborn adoption. And the third way is international adoption. So when we're talking about foster care adoption, it's just like it sounds, right? You are adopting a child who is in foster care and whose parents' rights have already been terminated, okay? There are hundreds of children in Nebraska right now who are ready to be adopted from foster care. All you have to do is go to the Nebraska Heart Gallery and you'll see pictures of all of the children who are in foster care right now who are ready to be adopted. So what does that mean? That means that you don't have to foster them like the traditional route of fostering. All you have to do is contact the agency, find out about the child, and then do the necessary steps that you need to take to actually adopt that child, okay? Now, the second way you can adopt, like I said, is through newborn adoption. This is when you are adopting a newborn baby. And that requires that you actually have a relationship or have, a match with a pregnant mom who's actually looking to place her baby with the family after the baby is born, okay? And then the third way you can adopt a child in Nebraska is through international adoption. So obviously that means that you're looking to adopt a child out of the country. So those are the 3 different ways that you can adopt a child in Nebraska. Will you comment below? Let me know the type of adoption that you've been thinking about doing. Do you want to adopt from foster care? Do you want to adopt a newborn? Or are you thinking about adopting internationally? Let me know in the comments below. All right, so the second step that you need to take after you decide the type of adoption you're doing, the second thing is you now need to pick the type of professional that you need to work with to help you through the process. Whenever you're doing an adoption, you need to use a professional that is licensed, that knows what they're doing, that can help you with the process so that everything is done legally. So let's start with foster care adoption. If that's the route that you want to take, the first thing you need to do then is to hire or to start working with a foster care adoption agency here in Nebraska. Okay, now when it comes to newborn adoption, what you want to do there is you need to find either an agency, a consultant, a lawyer, or you can also try to self-match with a pregnant mom. Okay, so there are really 4 different ways that you can adopt a newborn in Nebraska. Now, if you're looking to adopt internationally, then you're going to want to work with a licensed international adoption agency that works with the specific country that you're looking to adopt from, because not every single international adoption agency works with every single country in the world, right? And so if you want to adopt, let's say from, India, you want then to find an international adoption agency that works with India. So you've picked the type of adoption you want to do. You've decided the professional that you want to work with. What is the third step? Well, the third step then would be for you to start the process. Depending on the type of adoption that you're doing, the process is going to be different. This is why step 1 is so important, because if you're deciding to do newborn adoption, for example, you're going to go through a different type of process than if you're doing international adoption. So you really want to take step one really seriously and really decide which type of adoption you're doing, because that's going to decide the steps that you need to take to actually bring that child home. All right, now there's 3 things that I want to just warn you guys about as you are kind of going through this process. First thing that you need to know is that if you live in Nebraska and you're trying to adopt a child, you just need to know that you can adopt anywhere in the United States. So if you live here, you can adopt from New York, you can adopt from Washington, you can adopt from Virginia. You don't have to only look at Nebraska. The second thing I want to warn you about is about scammers. There are a lot of scammers out there, especially when you're talking about newborn adoption and sometimes international adoption as well. So you really have to do your homework to make sure that if those are the types of adoption that you want to do, that you are properly vetting the professional that you're wanting to work with, so that you don't end up spending thousands of dollars just to find out later on that your agency was scamming people and that they were being investigated by the FBI. All right, so don't be that person. The third thing that you need to know is that you need to be emotionally ready for the adoption process, okay? If you've suffered through infertility, that is trauma on its own and can be very taxing to go through medical procedures, taking shots, and whatever else you had to do for your infertility treatments. And so when you now decide, I want to adopt, you have to understand that this is a whole different ballgame, okay? And adopting is very different than having your own child naturally. I know that sounds like duh, but a lot of first-time hopeful adoptive parents that I talk with don't quite grasp how different the adoption process is from having their own natural child. And so it's really, really important for you to get in the place where you're emotionally ready to really go through the adoption process, because it comes with its own emotional hurdles. It comes with its own sets of challenges. And so you want to be emotionally ready to actually start the process of adoption. All right, so if these 3 steps about how to adopt a child in Nebraska was really helpful to you, but you want to know more, you are really serious about adopting right now, and you want to know all the nitty gritty, you want to know the things that you need to watch out for and more warnings and things that you need to know, I want to invite you again to click the link below in the description box to register for my free adoption training, How to Grow Your Family Through Adoption Successfully Without Losing Time, Money, or Hope in the process. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.